The only show that can compare to the pain felt when falling from the top of the sewers, it's Pinball Warrior. In this mode, bingo teams will be pitted against each other using the same bingo board to find out which team can claim the most points within the allotted time. Whichever team gains the most points will be able to claim the title of Pinball Warrior Champion! With ties broken by the fastest team. However, if it were that simple, it wouldn't be Pinball Warrior, now would it? The Bingo Wizards have crafted a diabolical bingo board with a unique gimmick designed to tear down even the most resilient bingo players. In fact, let's have a sneak peek of what we have in store this season. Hey yo, Bats, break it down for these Rudies.
This season we have an otherwise normal board. However, teams can pick a single square they wish to mark before they begin, and from that point onwards they are only allowed to mark squares that are connected to other marked squares in the cardinal directions. Can players efficiently chain their challenges, or will they run back and forth aimlessly?
Alright, my people, it's time for another match of Pinball Warrior!
And welcome to the first pinball of Season 7. We are back, and with me is not Twinkachu. We've gotten people now. We've got an actual, honest-to-God, other people. So, who's with me right now?
Yeah, I bet this is terrifying for everyone. Hi, I'm Shovelclaws. I'm so excited for another season of pinball. Pinball's so cool. And this board is really interesting. Hey, Spats, if you want to talk about it some.
I mean, as the intro, assuming that I've actually, done the editing and put it in at the start, as the intro would have said, they can only mark squares that are adjacent to squares that I've already marked, up, down, left, and right. We'll talk a bit more about that later, because this team had a bit of a misinterpretation of the rules, I want to say. But for now, starting with the classic entrance pillar, starting square Highway Zero Graffiti, really interesting choice. I'm not going to say what we'll see later on, but as the first square is not worth any points, that's just a graffiti that is no longer available. Hypothetically, if you select a graffiti, you cannot get the maximum amount of points on the board. But that might not be a problem. It all depends on how many points you get just overall.
Yeah, it feels kind of hard to route based off of it, but we see Nago going into Jazz just right off a rip. Going to take the plunge into some of those character unlocks. We have the 4 characters on the board with Bleed, Jazz, and Soda, which really block what you can actually end up doing in a lot of cases on this board. So we'll see it kind of open up a little bit with Nago taking on Jazz in a race.
Yeah, that was kind of an intentional design decision as well. It's like that inner core is kind of blocked off by characters and graffiti. So hypothetically, while you want to start within the inner core, you almost certainly don't want to start in center square because it doesn't really give you that much of an advantage starting out.
Yeah.
We've got Nago in Jazz. A very easy race, very quick race. Nothing much can really go wrong. That's a chun. Something has gone wrong. So Nago will have to restart the race.
And
fortunately, quite early on.
GG, go next.
awful luck there. It's one of those things where I feel mean by not just saying, oh, let's just do it again. But I think that's kind of what pinball's all about, is you just get a board, you get a hand, and you deal with it. But damn, chuns of all things, like, I did not factor that in as a possibility.
Jet Set Radio Future is a 2002 action game developed by Smilebit and published by Sega for the Xbox. It is a sequel to the Dreamcast game Jet Set Radio 2000.
No way.
A chun is the worst case scenario for this start into Jazz. Oh, that's tough.
Early on as well, like, given that other squares are going to be connected to Jazz. Just as a quick one, if you don't know what a chun is just the game forgets where you are in a race and you can't win, so you have to just restart it. That's just the quick version. Very rare and very unfortunate that it happened in a pinball game of all things.
But Nago gets through Jazz, clean and easy, surely. And we are off to Miku going to presumably FRZ. That's the only Kogane thing they can do right now. Miku also unlocked Air 3, which is going to be a challenge to get because it is on the opposite side of the board of where they have marked right now, so they'd have to do quite a lot to actually make it worth in the future, but we'll see Nago out of 99th into directly under entrance, which is fair. Get the center off the board, maybe unlock Boogie later on.
So I think this might be a good time, because of your comment of Air 3, to mention the issue that we may have had when I was communicating the rules. When I explained the rules, I mentioned that you can mark against any square you've already marked. However, the way that was interpreted was you can only do squares that are adjacent to the square that had just been marked. So we're going to really see a game of Snake right now in terms of the bingo board. Which will probably affect things ever so slightly in terms of overall points. But equally, I think we can say on the Snake rule set, this could win.
Sorry, I'm just kind of in awe at the way that Nago grabbed directly under entrance. Did you see that?
It's just I mean, from the upper area. Yeah. Have you not done that?
I've never seen
it's
that.
Fun.
I've never seen the boost jump. No, never. I've never seen that.
It's a wacky one.
We're gonna get Miku waiting for Kibo lower platform under wires.
And Miku then just
I
thinking,
suppose.
"Fuck this." I'm gonna be
have to
honest.
wait for Air 3.
Yeah. My favourite thing about this rule set is watching players wait, because it is pinball. You only have a certain amount of time. Any time waiting is time just wasted. You know, you don't get that time back. So I think Miku and Nago very rightly just go, I can't just sit here for the rest of my life waiting for Air 3. So let's go do literally anything else.
And it won't even matter because you'll be traveling the whole way, and they don't know that they can mark things other than the thing they just marked, I guess.
Yeah.
Is Nago going into Soda?
Good question. I wouldn't think so. Would it be bottom point into Highway Zero Special? So I'm thinking they're consistent on the rule set they created for this board, I'll say.
Interesting.
So,
Yeah,
I think going for tape, so it would be...
Wow.
But then Miku's not in bottom point.
Miku's going to get Air 3 himself, I guess.
Yeah. So I guess Air 3 into Sky Dino into Cubby?
Into
maybe?
Cubby, into
That's
Special?
a lot of stuff
yeah,
to
that
do
makes
while
sense. But...
Special's underway. Oh wait, no, because Nago's in Dark Side. Nago could go to platform into first
Unlock
swing.
Special, go to Sky Dino, yeah.
That given this particular rule set, that is a completely valid play.
Yeah.
Like, I know I keep mentioning the rule set, but I think it is worth highlighting that this is a solid performance. It just misses a critical part of the rules that for this season of pinball. If this was, Snake Pinball, this would be a genuinely really good board. Really good play.
I mean, getting the bingo, we're gonna see Air 3 picked up, and Nago's gonna go to platform, and then we'll have Miku waiting on Cubby. Timing in this game is hard, man.
Yeah. It's one
and
thing...
this board is a really good example of how important it is, I feel like.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen so many players just waiting for squares just because they think, oh, it's not going to take my teammate that long to get this other square. I think every team has done it in some capacity so far. I say so far. People watching, this is the first match, but spoiler alert, I think every team does a bit of waiting. It's just because it's really hard to factor in. You can time yourself easily enough, but you're then kind of working with incomplete information from your teammate of like, how close are they to what they need? Are they there? Are
Exactly.
they not? But it's
Nago climbing the mountain.
Yeah. and we're going to see platform under swing, and then basically immediately we're going to see Cubby.
A synced up soul grab, hell yeah, for the fans.
Absolutely nightmare to edit when I've got like 5 frames between points.
I imagine what we'll see here is interesting. I was expecting Light Wall Ride, and then after Highway Zero special, but I guess Miku wants to get bottom point.
Well, I think realistically, Light Wall Ride's a weird one. I think from Special Wall Ride Alley, Nago gets a lot of time to just leave. From Rith, could go either way. Could go back to Light Wall Ride, because that's not too far. Rith isn't too far into Kogane. Light Wall Ride isn't too far into Ben 10. You don't lose that much time, except for, loading screens. Well, but, equally, Dogen is there with, over 5 minutes left. Though Miku still they've still got to kind of do the whole, move around the board, including Miku doing bottom point graffiti. So maybe 5 minutes isn't viable for Dogen graffiti. Maybe it's just, Rith, Light Wall Ride. I don't know where they go from there. I guess we'll just wait and see.
You're kind of backed into the graffiti corner is the problem. Yeah. At least with how they decided to interpret the rules.
I mean, it's a vicious board with the graffitis anyway, I'd say. We're having them in those,
it definitely is.
Those 4 spots. So yeah, snaking it really doesn't help. But making the best of a bad situation. This is still really good. I mean, Miku's doing an absolutely classic bottom point graffiti. That's Highway Special marked by Nago.
I will say I really like the bottom point graffiti here while Nago is getting special, because special is a soul that takes a long time. So you don't really want to just be burning time waiting. Like, this feels a lot better than waiting at Kibo lower platform, for example, for your teammate to then be able to activate the square in a way.
Yeah.
So I like the graffiti play here.
Yeah, very solid graffiti as well. So presumably Nago's going to just kind of go all the way out to Rikokudai Heights from here, but that's a long journey. Miku's got time to do graffiti. It might just sync up quite well in the end.
Yeah, I don't think we'll see any more bingos unless they get center floating. That diagonal's a bit sneaky, but that would fall outside of the rules that they've put onto themselves.
They just decide, screw it, we're going to make our own rules right at the end and then follow the actual rules by accident.
I love cheating.
I love cheating. Next season of Pinball, you can cheat, but you've got to give me a 3-page essay on why it was justified.
Dude, Pinball Cheaters Edition, where you can do certain cheats, but as long as Ace Bats doesn't catch you, then it's okay.
As long as I don't catch it during editing.
No. You can't look at the game afterwards. You have to catch it in the moment.
Okay. You can use Moonjump.
So we just have to BS everything. And you have to also turn off the room history chat, so you can't see any marks unless you catch it yourself.
God. Alright, so yeah, Miku's still going strong on bottom point. Nago going to Rith. So I'm assuming going to do the first bits of Rith while Miku finishes off the graffiti. I mean, there's not that much left. It's kind of at the point where there's nowhere really to go besides kind of the upper catwalk area. So this will be done quite quick, while Nago's kind of in a perfect position. I mean, if we were to do a pinball special, I would kind of want to see a do-over with this, I'm not going to lie, because the timing here is very solid. Like, Nago factored in how long it would probably take Miku to do the graffiti, and now Nago's, already going through the Rith unlock sequence, no problem, just chill.
See, this is kind of where Miku is right now, why I wanted to see Light Wall Ride instead of Rith, because Light Wall Ride while it makes the Rith timing a lot easier, if you get it earlier, Miku then can finish bottom point and then grab bottom point, or grab bottom point PJ room on the route of the graffiti.
That is true. But on the
Nago
bright side,
decided-
like, Allred isn't too far out.
Yeah, it's not too bad, and it's a nice place to end too. Is
Yeah.
the benefit is because the light wall ride takes a while to get out of. I don't think you'd be able to mark anything else except for maybe Shibuya top of bus, but a minute to do that is tough. You have to have very clean movement the entire way through, and also Nago's on an Xbox, and Garage will probably ruin their dreams.
Yeah, but you can see a nice
Another
synchronized-
synced grab,
Yeah, and the 1 and the 2.
clean.
Bish bash bosh.
And
I
then-
mean, we're at the point where we're looking at the time. We've got, 40
Yeah.
seconds left on the board.
Ooh.
Not really an
missed a
opportunity to
jump.
grab anything. Not even the sickest Kibo stall launch could. Maybe if you got the one that's like IL.
Yeah, pile
but-
on wood.
Yeah. I think you need a Kibo Mega at this point. But yeah, it's coming towards the end. I mean, I think we can quite confidently say it's a 17-point board. But still a very strong first match of the pinball season. Very, very happy with the kind of thought process from the teams. A lot of great communication, a lot of good planning. It's unfortunate with how the board, panned out, but with the hand they were dealt, they did good with it. So
Yeah, they showed good resilience, and that's what you need in pinball.
absolutely. And with that, Team DJ launches onto the board with a starting score of 17 points. How will the other teams fare? Find out next time on Jet Set Radio Future Bingo Pinball Warrior.